A good detox diet, you hang out with people who support you. If you are in a group and you say, you know what, the live food and the good food, and someone says, I don't believe in that stuff. Guess what? And there is 5 of them, and one of you is, most chances you say, yeah, I don't believe either, but you know. So if you want to succeed in detox, hang out with people who more are into health, more into people who support you. If you want to do it alone, good luck, because in the advertising industry, guess what they do? They convince your friend, and even if you get influenced by the advertising, you get influenced by your peer pressure. That's how they get to you as well. So that's why we also have a life coaching. There are a lot of little information that makes a difference. You know, we did give an attempt to go to raw food 5 years ago. We couldn't succeed. We went through this complex recipe, takes a long time to prepare. Needless to say, we failed. Second try, we failed again. And finally, we gathered a lot of information, and that at the end we succeeded to the point that now we almost 99% of stuff we eat is like raw food. Yeah. So you do need somebody to help you, a coach, a partner, whoever you need, and that we offer that if you need that.
Yeah, part of my life coach in part of my life coaching practice, I have seen many people, most of my clients, come to me with exactly this, is I don't really know what it is that I want. I think I want to get healthy, but you know, there's another part of me that really wants to hang on. It really wants to hang on to the addiction. It wants to hang on to the taste. It wants to hang on to whatever it is that is holding the person back.
Or what they tell you, do you have
forward.
salad only? Or if you want just salad, how about if you want cheese? How about this? How about that? They want to ask details.
Yeah.
You know, trust me, there's a lot of details, and live food is a lot more delicious than you think. Ton of awesome food. It's not you giving up something. You gain in the new way of eating.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And addiction, you see, is 80% physical and 20% emotional. 80% is the chemical reactions inside your body asking you to ingest this substance. The other 20% is whatever emotional connection you've made with this food. And this is the toughest part, and this is what in my life coaching practice, this is what the 20% that we deal with, is in taking the hook that you've got between the food and the emotional connection and just splitting that apart. There's a process that I have that I do with my clients. It's called Anchors Away for Food Compulsions. And you literally go through what it is, how do you feel about this food, what is this food meant for, and what have you used it for? A lot of the reasons why we are hooked on some of these substances is because we have managed to use them for an unintended use. You know, when you buy a piece of equipment, an electronic piece of equipment comes with a nice long manual of warnings. A piece of equipment comes with a nice long manual of warnings, and it gives you use only as directed and do not use for any unintended use, right? Food should come with the exact same warning label. Food should be used for its intended use. What is the intended use of food? Can anybody tell me? What do we use for food?
For health and well-being.
For health and well-being. For fuel.
Yeah.
It's supposed to just keep us going. That is its intended use. It is not intended to be a companion. It's not intended to be a comfort. It is not intended to be a spouse. It's not intended to be anything other than just fuel for your body. And unfortunately, in this country as a whole, we have created a relationship with food that is not only addictive and dysfunctional, but it is almost unmanageable. This is why we have an incredible rate of obesity in this country. And it doesn't just come from willpower of just saying, okay, I'm not going to drink coffee today. I'm not going to have chocolate today. And so the more you think about what you're not going to have, guess what happens?
You're going to have that.
That is exactly the thing that you're going to go out and have, because you keep saying to yourself, I'm not going to. What are you focusing on? The one thing that you're not going to have, right? So when we shift our mentality a little bit to truly what it is that we want. What do you really want in your life? Then you will make better choices about what to eat, the emotional connections, or unhooking those emotional connections with food, and making better choices for yourself, health-wise.
Actually, the food is more like culture. You see, there are people who, they say, we eat this and we don't eat it. That's, every time people get together, there is about food. You know, how many potluck we've been through. They come food has to be, everything is their own food. Food is become a center of the culture. And is more cultural, is more emotional than actually being made to feed us. It becomes entertainment. There's nothing wrong with that. If we can redirect all of that energy toward a good energy. You throw a potluck, throw a veggie potluck. If you want to have good food, make a carrot cake or cake that is all raw, made by good stuff, not stuff that kills you. Throw a party, put the cake, but cannot create your own culture, rather being product of the culture who's failing. The product of the culture that 30% of his money goes toward diabetes, the other 30% goes for heart disease, and most of it now is going for cancer. And trust me, all of it, they have the same sources coming from food that's poisoning us.
Right. And when you think about the process of taking yourself out of the standard American diet, which it obviously is not working for us, okay? It's not making us any healthier. To some place where you want to be, and you getting the results that you want to see in your life, whether it's energy, whether it's cleansing, whether it's getting rid of diabetes or arthritis. All of these, by the way, can be done away with food, just food. And so when you think about going through that process, you want to think about what's your first step. Think about, yes, what is the ultimate goal that you have? Don't get wrapped up in the details. Just take one thing, do one thing today. If you can just do one thing today, what will that be?
One thing this week. What you take out of your diet this week?
What will you eliminate, or what will you add? Think about tomorrow. What will you do tomorrow? One thing. Just one, and just take one step every day as you go along. Okay? Now, I want to talk about emotional detox. I know
Do you want to give me 5 minutes break here?
I switched the 5-minute break because we were all getting a little antsy. I was getting a little antsy.
Steve, if you want to leave now.
An emotional detox is important because of what we talked about. Bye, Steve. Take care. We talked a little bit about how an excess of cortisol is toxic to the body. Extended periods of stress, it's so damaging. It's ravaging. This is just managing emotions. This is just managing emotions in whatever situation. My 65-year-old mother, when she turned 65 2 years ago, I asked her, I said, Mom, in your 65 years of life, what lessons have you learned? And she says, love unconditionally, forgive quickly, and accept people exactly as they are. And it dawned on me that this is really how she lived. And she's a very happy and a very healthy person. And she's emotionally healthy. And so I'd like to talk a little bit about forgiveness and how this is such a key part of a detox. Not just the food, but just the letting go. The process of letting go is so important. Because when we don't forgive, it's like literally bringing your McDonald's burgers with you everywhere you go emotionally. It's like emotionally driving around McDonald's burgers with you everywhere you go and feeding them to yourself every single day. It's not allowing yourself to heal. Now, the other person whom you're not forgiving, they probably have absolutely no idea that you haven't forgiven. They've moved on. They probably don't even remember that something has happened. They've probably been
Yeah.
Happy, joyful life. And here you are stewing in these emotions. And you're making yourself sick. For every emotion that we have, there is a very real chemical reaction that happens in our bodies. If your emotion is a happy, joyful one, the chemical reaction is a very healthy one. If your emotion is of anger, unforgiveness, bitterness, then that also too affects your body. And it affects your body in a very negative way. And there's a process that I do with my clients called Anchors Away,